Alright, so my channel's gotten a little too focused on the negative parts of Black Ops 4, but I still enjoy the bare bones playlist, the gunplay, and a lot of other aspects of this game. I enjoyed playing it with my buddies the other day, and I just wanted to talk about my favorite way to play Domination. You guys will be seeing it here in the gameplay. Before I get into this though, I do have a Discord. It's linked down in the description below. There's already some people in there, but it kind of died over last year because I just wasn't using it. With my new computer and just the new way I'm working on videos and everything, I have time to pop into that Discord. So if you want to go there, it's a pretty simple layout. There's a talking place and an art place and a memes place, and there's a first come, first serve voice channel where you guys can talk to me. I'm not running it like other people's Discords. I'm running this more like a big group chat for all of my subscribers, and it's a good way to get in contact with me because I try to check it several times throughout the day. And if I'm bored, some evenings I'll just hop into the first come, first serve voice channel and just talk to whoever also wants to join. So go ahead, links in the description, and now we're gonna get on with this video. So Domination is a game mode I kinda stopped playing, unfortunately, and I wish this wasn't the case, but it is. I don't play with friends all the time, and Domination is pretty sweaty, and Domination in Black Ops 4 is just, I don't know, I don't feel like it plays as well as other forms of Domination. Maybe it's the flag points, the pace of the game, maybe it was the specialist abilities before the bare bones playlist was introduced that made me not like it, but I didn't like it. Now, I'm singing a bit of a different tune. Alternating between Domination and TDM in the bare bones playlist is a lot of fun, and there's just something so satisfying about making hell for the enemy team on one flag throughout a good portion of the match. And I don't see a lot of people doing this. It requires some confidence and some gun skill, but you will be dying a good amount of times because what you're trying to do is not necessarily capture the enemy flag. It's not really about winning that point, it's about distracting and irritating. And it's only really recommended to do if you have other teammates you can count on to go capture the B flag and make sure your gimme flag isn't getting taken, which is kind of a lot of work. And my teammates didn't do a great job of this during this match, but the point still stands. If you can go and just wreak havoc on a single enemy flag multiple times throughout one round, you just go on their flag and start trying to cap it and kill anyone that comes near you. And once you die, you run right back over there. It's better if you have equipment. I didn't in this video, unfortunately, in this gameplay, I mean. But I would recommend you use concussions, frag grenades, Molotovs. Just do things to keep them off of the flag. I've mentioned this a lot in Battlefield, but it's important to know that one of the best ways you can win against an enemy team, or at least give them a huge run for their money, is just have the mentality of being bothersome. You're not trying to survive, you're trying to annoy. If you're even making one person on the enemy team constantly have to turn back on their heels and come and kill you, then you're doing your team a favor unless you're just dying. If you're only dying and you're not able to win your gunfights more than you lose them, then you're just going to be feeding the enemy team streaks. And that's of course not what you want. If you're not confident in your gun skill, you could see this as a way to practice or see this as something you should avoid. Failing at this type of irritating strategy is going to actually hurt your team in games like Call of Duty, less so in games like Battlefield because, you know, someone can kill you a million times, it's not going to unlock them an airstrike or an attack helicopter. But you will be costing your team tickets, and that's not good either. The two playstyles that I see the most of in game modes like Domination or Hardpoint or any sort of objective game mode in Call of Duty, Battlefield, hell, Squad, Insurgency, doesn't matter. The two playstyles I see is timid and aggressive. And there is a middle ground. And I think the middle ground is just irritating the enemy team, going on a long flank and starting to capture their objective, going on a long flank and just throwing rounds at them. One of the things I love doing in more like hardcore military shooters like Insurgency or like Squad is to just throw rounds at people from a distance. Because people are more scared of bullets in games where one or two stray ones can kill you very quickly. Doing unexpected things or doing consistently annoying things to the enemy team might not get you the best KD, but it's always making them have to turn their head around. But this is hard to explain, you know, this is something you have to feel out. If you feel like you're just feeding them kills and you're not really a threat to them, you get that feeling that you're maybe not doing as much as you think you are, then stop and try a different strategy. But if you can kind of visualize how irritated they are and how much time they have to spend on you, then you might be doing the exact thing you need to be doing. Again, when someone has to constantly turn their head and turn on their heels and go and look for you again because you're burning their objective, you're wasting their time, you're making them distracted, and you also might be tilting them a little bit. And that's kind of the fun topic of this video, is it's kind of less about push the enemy flag in Domination, and it's more about learn to annoy your enemy. But what annoys your enemy? It's kind of hard to tell. All you can do is ask yourself, well, what annoys my friends? What do they complain about? And what annoys me? What pisses me off when it happens to me? Well, once you answer those questions after hopefully more than a second of thinking, you can probably pinpoint something that's going to irritate most players. The psychological part of shooters is really interesting, and that's why I'm not against corner camping or just being kind of weird with your playstyle or class, is because you can give someone something they're not used to having to deal with, and this can tilt people and frustrate them. And if you're losing your matches because of corner campers, I'm sorry, in most games, I would say, unless it's like a map is completely unbalanced, it's probably your fault. When going against aggressive enemies that are confident in their gun skill much more than I am, I sit back, I head glitch, I lay down mines, I throw grenades around corners. I know I'm not going to get better than them in that match, and if it's getting really rough, then I will do something that's just annoying. It might not win us the game, but I at least want them to be frustrated. I'll stand in a corner with a shotgun or a melee weapon and wait for you to walk in. I'll head glitch a popular lane with a semi-automatic sniper rifle. I'll equip explosives and bomb the hell out of any place you've been locking down. And in this match, I wanted to make this team really nervous about their gimme flag. Did it work out 100%? No. But you really have to think about what annoys you, what is distracting, what takes you out of the game, and do that to your opponents if possible. And maybe not all the time, and maybe only against good opponents do you need to do this. One of the things my friends used to do in Black Ops 2, and it was so long ago I don't really have any gameplay of it, but if we were losing Domination matches, two of my friends would pull out the riot shield, the deployable riot shield in Black Ops 2, and they would just use trophy systems and deployable riot shields and LMGs with target finders, and you might say, hey, that's not honorable, that's douchey, you're using broken mechanics, and it's like, well, sorry, no. I'm not going to look at something that would throw you off your game and go, I'm not using that, that's cheap. Maybe I might feel extra competitive some games and I'll just focus on my gun skill and I'll try to get better in that way, but for the average player that doesn't have a long time to practice and you're not really focused on improvement as much as you are on winning, well, that's possible in video games, and some people take it very, very seriously, but I think, hell, if it's in the game, use it to your advantage, and then maybe report it on Twitter to the developers if it's really fucking broken. Anyway, this video is a little messy, but if you want to see me do a video about being an honorable gamer, let me know and I will go ahead and make that video. But if you think I'm just a jackass, then dislike the video and tell me I'm a jackass in the comment section. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video for whatever reason, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.
I watched death happen on the
I have become death. Get out of my fucking world.